A warm welcome to FutureCon IAS, and today we are going to start with the PT 365. And since we know that prelims is so close to us, we are supposed to be done with the current affairs. And there are so many PTs coming in the upcoming days, so let us go one by one. And we would be starting with the polity and the governance, which is there in front of us only. So we'll be starting with it, and there are many topics given in this PDF, but what we would be doing is we would be just briefing the topics. We'll see what are the important points to be completed. Okay, we will not be discussing each and everything because that is really not important and not required as well. So the thing which are really most important, or the tidbits, or the a kind of the fact file we would be discussing. All right. So let us begin with the topics now. And since they are around it is of around 80 pages, 82 pages, and there are topics listed in front of the sections. Okay. So for today we are starting with the basic structure doctrine. Okay. And we know how important it is. Okay. And it has been asked by UPSC for several times now. So it's a kind of thing which we should deal in great detail. Okay. So now, first of all, let us see what do we mean by basic structure. Whenever you don't understand any keyword, try to break it into the words or a keyword section. For example, we have the basic. Basic means something which is fundamental, and structure is a kind of the comprehensive design of something, and then doctrine is kind of a law and the section. Okay, so we know that basic structure was released under the landmark judgment, which was given by the Keshav and Bharti, 1973. So this year is again very much important. Okay, just try to remember this year. This is important, and why it is in news? Because it is completed 50 years recently. Alright, then we have the doctrine and evolution given in front of this. So we'll come back to this later. First of all, let us see what was the judgment under this. Okay, so since this was the judgment, and it came after the case, and which was talking about the acquisition of the land, and then there was certain fundamental rights which were involved into it, and then this was the largest judgment of the day. Means till date, this was the case where 13 judges bench was there. Okay. And then introduction of the basic structure means with the Keshav and Bharti judgment, we have the basic structure doctrine, and then basic structure doctrine upholds the judgment of the 24th constitutional amendment, which talks about the abridgment. Okay, which talks about the power to amend any law or the provision which are talking about the fundamental rights and other provisions which are mentioned in the Constitution, and FR stands for the fundamental right here. Then because of certain judgments back to back, like there was a Begubari judgment 1960, which was involved, then there was a Gopalam case, followed by there was one Golaknath case. Okay, so there were certain judgments, and then the result of entire judgment was culminated with the Keshav and Bharti case, and then there are some of the principles. Okay, there are some principles जिस पर entire basic structure का जो premises है वो आज खड़ा है. ठीक है. So for example, if we talk about the premises, so premises का मतलब क्या है कि जो basic structure है जिसमें entire premises are stand है, तो वो है basic structure. Now basic structure which talks about the principles means जो principles है उसमें वो basic structure के अंदर included है. For example, sovereignty of India. Okay, sovereignty of India means जो India के rights है, जो internal possessions है, that cannot be put on hold due to the the external affairs. Means India is sovereign. India is free to take its own decision. Means there is no dominance of other countries over the India when it comes to the internal affairs. Then we have the freedom, liberty. Okay, then it talks about the welfare state. Now this is your homework. You have to just tell me which of the like there are many provisions given in the constitution, so you have to tell me like no which provisions talks about the welfare state. So and also mention the part along with the articles if you remember. But moreover, I just like no want to have the focus over the keyword, which keyword it is trying to indicate. All right. Then supremacy of the constitution. Since our constitution includes so many things, so it is really important that no ये supreme भी होना चाहिए, and ये supreme है भी, तो इसी वजह से ये एक बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर भी है. मीन्स आप उसके बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर के साथ कोई खिलवाड़ नहीं कर सकते, आप बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर को हटा नहीं सकते. ओके, मीन्स उसमें बेसिक फीचर्स होनी चाहिए. Then comes the republican and democratic form of the government, and then secular and federal. Now, again, a task for you. What do you mean by secular and then federal? All right. Though you people might know till like no, because since we are discussing the current affairs and all these sections have been dealt already in the politics discussion and like no in your basic sources, whatever you are referring for polity. So this is nothing new. This is just a revision session. If you people like no tracing the current affairs diligently. Okay, so secular and federal is something which you should know, and that is why I'm asking. So like no welfare state and then secular and then federal. Okay, you should write in the comment section कि इन सभी का क्या meaning है या definition if you remember, or basic like no I just want to know the extract of the keyword. Okay, provided the articles as well. So separation of power. Now, if anyone can also mention that who given the concept of the separation of powers. And now we know like no, there are three organs of the government, or there are three levels of the government at which they are working. So first one is the legislative, then executive, and then the judiciary. So these three sections are working to implement each and everything possible. So now we know that no, if a legislature would be administrating executive or executive would be administrating judiciary, so it will be kind of an interference in the work. So what happens like no, government has ensured the separation of power through various articles as well. For example, there is one article number 50. Okay, article number 50. Now you have to explain what this article 50 actually discusses about. Okay, so article 50 talks about the separation of power, but separation between what? किसके बीच में separation की बात करता है article 50? You have to mention this thing. Okay, then comes the unity and integration, power, judicial review. Also, like no, also one more homework for you. Tell me that no judicial review is mentioned in the constitution or not. Is judicial review mentioned in the constitution? Yes or no? All right. And then harmony and balance between FR and DPSPs has been ensured because it is mentioned in the basic structure. So, and one more question from this section, that FR is enforceable or not? DPSPs are enforceable or not? Okay, by court. So they are enforceable by court or not. So this is something you have to mention in the comment section. Now, basic structure doctrine. So we have already discussed that no fundamental features of the constitution that cannot be amended or abrogated. All right, and then there is no mention of the term basic structure in the Constitution of India. So this is something important, like no, in prelims there can be a statement that basic structure is a term which have been mentioned in the constitution. So that you should know that it is mentioned or it is not. So it is not mentioned, just remember. And for your feasibility, I have already highlighted some of the keywords so that no, you can revise them in less time possible. Okay. Then significance of the doctrine. What is the significance of this doctrine? So it checks on the power of parliament. It is a living document. Now, it ensures the livingness of the document. Now, there is one term called as living document. Another one is organic document. Okay, so organic or living, both means what? That no, that for example, if I have a document, ठीक है, वो living है, इसका मतलब क्या है कि like no, whenever needed, I can change it as per my requirement. Okay, so that is not something which is like no sacrosanct in nature और वो intact रहेगा. ऐसा नहीं है, उसमें changes can be made whenever and wherever required. Like no, a customized constitution we can say we have in India. Okay, and then we have let down several principles that have become the bedrock of the constitutional law, and then ensures that the federal structure of the constitution is not undermined. Okay, and then shapes the judiciary approach to constitutional interpretation. Okay, so ensures that the federal structure of the constitution is not undermined. Now, first of all, like no, we should know that what is federal structure. Okay, so federal structure is what? Like no, for example, in India we have the two governments existing. First one is the central government, another one is the state government. So both governments exist in harmony to what? To rule the India, to like no, bring the best of the governance and to lead the administration. So we have two governments. Now the central government, state government, both governments are existing in the harmony with the help of the federal structure. Federal structure means that center can like no, central can administer states to rule and to help the regional and local self-governments to operate in better way. Okay, and then shapes the judiciary's approach. Now, this was something about the basic structure, and we have one more section here. So, see, first of all, how you have to trace this flowchart. Okay. So, first of all, Parliament can amend any part of the basic structure. They cannot amend the part of the basic structure definitely, but they can change any part apart from the basic structure, meaning कि जो आपका basic structure है उसमें से किसी भी चीज को बदला नहीं जा सकता या उसमें changes नहीं किए जा सकते, but उसके apart जो कुछ भी है उसमें changes किए जा सकते हैं. Okay, and then we have certain judgments here, like no kind of chronology given over here. Though this chronology is not that much relevant for the UPSC, I would say, but for the state government, it is really important. Like, no, they just ask the direct questions from this section, like arrange this or that, or arrange these judgments. All right. So, A.K. Gopala, 1950, Shankri, 1951, Sajjan Singh case, 1965, 67, and then 71. And then in 71, we have the Keshav and Bharti case. And this is the important case. And then FR cannot be amended by the Parliament. Okay, as per the judgment of the Golaknath case. Alright. So this was the first article. Now let us move to the subsection of the first article. So it is about the basic structure again, but this time it is talking about the independence. Now, like no, to act smoothly, judiciary needs independence. And independence from what? Independence from executive, independence from legislature. And then even we know that no High Court and Supreme Court judges have the kind of like no independence structure. And now how, for example, like no, we know that their salaries are non-votable. Okay, उनकी salaries पे vote नहीं किया जा सकता. So that is non-votable. ठीक है, उनका जो staff section है, they can appoint themselves. Okay, in that scene, there is no need of president to put a seal over the appointment. All right, so judges can appoint their own staff. Okay, clerical staff I'm talking about here. So that is the independence. Now, independence is a basic structure. Why so? Because अगर वो basic structure नहीं होगा, how judiciary would act independently? All right. So that is why we have the independence as the basic structure. Now, since I have told you about the salary, so they are talking about the pay, then pension. All right. And then between the district judiciary, High Court and the SC. For example, we know that no SC comes first, then comes the HC, and then comes the district courts. Okay. So district courts come here. So you can see like no a kind of integration. In India, we have the integrated judiciary as well. So integrated judiciary means rules will follow from the like no high level of the hierarchy to the lower level. So this is the integration of the judiciary, but that doesn't mean like no SC is dependent upon HC or HC dependent. Okay, so this is a kind of integration, but it also reflects the independence. Means HC like no appointments at the staff level can be done by them. At HC level, they can appoint their own staff. Okay, salaries are non-votable, we have discussed already. Now they have given something about the district judiciary here. Okay, so district judiciary means this third level. We are discussing about this level now. And for these two levels, you can refer the previous videos for the polity. We have discussed already. So you can refer the video section or playlist section of the polity. Okay. Yeah. So come here. So district judge is the highest judicial authority in the district. Okay, because district की बात हुई है तो we know district judge जो होगा वो highest judicial authority होगा district में. Then organizational structure, jurisdiction, nomenclature of the subordinate judiciary are let down by the states, hence they differ slightly. Because हर state का अपना एक system होता है, हर state का अपना एक administration होता है, तो वो जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है वो हर स्टेट का वेरी करता है. हाउ राजस्थान वुड ऑपरेट देयर जुडिशरी, हाउ एमपी और यूपी और आंध्र प्रदेश. ओके, देन अपॉइंटमेंट, पोस्टिंग एंड प्रमोशन ऑफ द डिस्ट्रिक्ट जजेस आर मेड बाय द गवर्नर. नाउ दिस इज समथिंग अ point to be noted. Okay, this is important. And then in consultation with the high court. So this and these two sections are important here. Then this, we know that law, judiciary, then high court, and high court ke niche we have the district and session judge court. Then district judge court and the session judge court. So civil side and criminal side. And in civil side we have the subordinate judge court and then chief judicial magistrate court. Though this is not important, okay, you have to go into the appointment and that salary section of the high court, and same goes with the district judges as well. Okay, so we'll we have covered two sections today, and we'll be discussing more of the sections tomorrow or might be in coming days. All right, and we'll try to complete all the PTs. For example, if any new PT is planned to be discussed soon, so what we will do is we'll just complete the polity before. I guess next would be the culture. So before the release of the culture, PT 365 will wrap up with the polity. We'll try our best, and each and every important thing will be discussed by us. So stay tuned, and all other PT's lectures would be updated back to back. Okay, so this is the very first session, and what you can do is you can just make a short note out of these discussions, and that will help in the last revision. Okay, then the prelims would be very much close and you won't have time to dwell yourself into the PT. Then that time you can definitely go for the highlighted section. Okay, so just go through it, or better you can make your own notes, and we'll discuss rest of the PTs, and along with this we'll discuss the relevance of the static topics as well. For example, if basic structure is there, so in next section we also will discuss about the preamble or the PSPFR, and rest try to comment all your answers. The questions which have been asked by me in today's session would be covered in the next session, but try to put your answers. All right, and stay tuned. We'll be coming with the next session soon. All right, so yeah, have a nice day. Take care. We'll meet in the next session, and do share this session so that maximum people can take the benefit out of it. All right, have a nice day.